Good morning. How are y'all doing? I'm so happy y'all are here. Listen, yesterday, I don't know about y'all. I was nervous. Obviously, y'all probably weren't, but I'm just like, oh, no, new platform, who this? That's how I was feeling. And honestly, I did work on things a little bit yesterday. Like that's my thing. That in order to get better, you just have to work on one small thing, just improve one small thing every day. So trying to improve one small thing every day in order to make this experience over here on YouTube the best possible. And thank you to everyone who gave me some feedback and let me know what you thought I could improve. Please do keep that coming. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. And a couple things, I did not do a good job with the housekeeping yesterday. I want to point out my website here, which is cartandtable.com, that I'm steadily updating and putting the resources that I talk about over there. So you can absolutely find, if I'm talking about something here or mentioning a website, I'm also making sure that I put it over on my website, cartandtable.com, under the resources, as well as if I show a product or if I talk about something that I got on Amazon, chances are I've also included that over on my Amazon storefront. Good morning. So good to see you. I'm so sorry that there was some confusion yesterday on TikTok, but so happy you got to make it over here today and join this live. And then one other thing that I wanted to just housekeeping before we get things started. If you ever are missing a live, they are always going to be recorded and saved on my page, which was a key difference from over on TikTok. And yes, you can download over on TikTok, and they do have this thing now where they let you leave clips, but they don't let you share the screen as well. And that's what I like more about being over here. Plus, it just seems calmer over here. Like, okay, story time real quick. I posted a video yesterday on TikTok just talking about some the laundry sanitizer that I'm using from Lysol, because I forgot to mention it yesterday in the live. And I posted it on TikTok and I posted it on Instagram. And wouldn't you know it, I start getting comments like, well, I'm not using this and I'm not sick. And I'm just like, babe, good for you. That's not the point. It was just like, if you want to use it, use it. If you don't. I don't think I will ever understand people who think it is their place to say, I'm not using that thing that you're recommending and my life is greater, whatever. It's like, if I'm sharing what I'm using and it doesn't seem like something you want to use, by all means, scroll on. You don't have to interact with it at all. And I think I'm just to the point now where, because I used to think, oh, all engagement's good engagement, but no, go away. Let me help you find the door. So now if I see a negative comment, I don't engage. I just block the person, delete the comment, block the person. Let me help you find the door. You seem lost. So all that to say, happier to be over here because it seems like that happens less on YouTube. I have been posting in like various things on YouTube for the past like 7 or 8 years. And I have never gotten a negative comment on YouTube. So I'm just going to go where the peace is, right? Like I am over here trying to protect my peace. I do not have any bandwidth for anything negative. So all that being said, today I really want to talk about something that happened last night, and I'm very grateful to my cousin for providing me with the with the theme of today's show, because as any homeschooler knows, there seems to be this divide, especially online, not so much in real life, sometimes with family, but there's always this divide between like homeschoolers and non-homeschoolers, as though like one option is better than another. And I just really want to put that debate to bed by saying this: all good parents homeschool, period. And I'll say that again. All good parents homeschool. The only difference is the amount of hours we dedicate to it. So you might have someone like me who's like, we're doing it full time. Then you have some parents who are more homeschooling like part-time, or in the realm of like they do it on the weekends or they do it in the evenings. But all good parents homeschool. My mother homeschooled. She doesn't probably think she did, but she always made sure that there were books in the house. She had an encyclopedia set. My dad would say, like, if I ever had a question about what does this word mean, he would tell me, look it up. Here's a dictionary. They always made sure there were learning resources in the house, and they encouraged me to use them. So in their way, they were homeschooling. They did not rely solely on the public school system to provide me with my education. My mom budgets like nobody's business. She still to this day gets people asking, like, can you help me budget? Can you help me get my finances straight? And she's not an accountant or anything like that, but she taught me how to handle my finances. So all parents, all good parents, because we all know parents who would not fall into that category. Okay. Everybody knows somebody who's like, okay. But all good parents homeschool. The only difference is the amount of hours we spend doing it. So I really want to put that issue to bed. And I will not be debating with anybody about the merits of homeschooling, because all good parents homeschool. The end. And yes, Ty, I agree with you. It is less chaotic here. 100%. And it's just, I guess I'm just too old. I come from an era where it's like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. And now we're in an era of where I'm just going to say anything at all. Who cares if it's nice? I'm just going to say what I want to say. Like, and again, I think I'm too old. So thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I agree with this comment as well. No one should solely rely on the public school system to teach their child. And I feel like this comment in particular is a perfect segue into me sharing a little bit about the conversation that I had with my cousin last night. So she called and she was like, hey, I'm looking for some resources for my son. I really want to help him with his spelling in school. And so we were talking about a couple of websites. I want to share them with you right now. So let me switch over and get that going for us. So this one, it's called spellquiz.com. And let me go ahead and put that in the chat so you guys are seeing that on your screens as well, which is another thing that I like about hosting here. It's like you can definitely see things a little better and a little clearer here. So spellquiz.com, what I really like about this, and unfortunately it's not completely free, but there are free components, okay? I think they give you 20 practice quizzes before they ask you to sign up. So you can definitely test it out, see if it's something that you're interested in. But the idea here is that it reads it out to you. You get to select your grade level, whatever grade level you're looking for. And then, so I'll select second grade because that's where my son is right now. And then you get these spelling exercises down here. You can select any one of them. You don't have to necessarily go in order. And then what will happen, and I don't think it's going to pick up the sound today because I did turn that feature off. I know there was an issue with it yesterday. But what's going to happen is once you click on a spelling exercise, you click play, and it is going to dictate a sentence out loud for your reader or for your student. And then that's your student then has to down here print or type what they hear. So that was the sentence. I don't think y'all heard it. I heard it in my headphones, but I don't know if y'all heard it. So this is the sentence that was just dictated out loud. And as you can see, once I type what I've heard, it gives the answer over here, and it tells you how many you've attempted, how many you've completed. Now I'll do another one and I'll do it wrong this time. So you see what happens when it's not correct. Okay, so it was do not add sugar was the dictation. I purposely am misspelling add so that you can see what happens when your child, or if your child misspells a word. So there you go. You can see it will correct your child and tell you that they attempted to, but only got one completed correctly. So that was a resource that I was sharing with my cousin yesterday. And we were just talking about, like, this is something that she can use to practice with her son on spelling. Another website that we were talking about is this one. This is homespellingwords.com, and I will put that in the chat as well. So this one is home. Oh, I forgot the www. My bad. Make sure y'all put that in there. So similar idea on homespellingwords.com. Because this one is a free one, you're gonna see a ton of ads. As we well know, a lot of times when a website is free, they're gonna make that money somewhere. And so this one does a similar idea, but it says the word and then it uses the word in a sentence, and you're only supposed to type the word, not the whole sentence. So just let me know in the chat real quick. I just want to do a quick check-in, make sure these are coming through and y'all can see these websites. You can hear me okay. I just want to do like sound check, video check, that everything that I've displayed so far you guys can see. Okay, now see, why did they put the word up like that? Oh, because it's practice. My bad. I had practice selected. I'm like, why did they do that? Let me select test, and it shouldn't put the word up like that. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. You guys can see it. I appreciate it. Ty, you said you're on the site right now. Love it. Okay, so yeah, I just clicked it for it to say the word, and it popped the word up as you saw. Let me do that now on test because I was on practice before. Okay, so it said pie. I think they will bring some blueberry pie. And so I'm supposed to type the word pie as the student. It checks and it says, correct, good job. So that's another version of something that you can do. Again, you can select the level. Okay, here we go, ads. You can select the level for spelling that you are looking for your kid, and then just go from there with the practice. Now, this one also is not 100% free. I believe for some of the things behind the paywall, it's like $2 a month, or I think maybe $25 for the year, something along those lines for this site. So unfortunately, not everything's free, but they are at least some good options. Let me jump back to Spell Quiz in case anyone joined and didn't see that one. So here we have it, Spell Quiz and Home Spelling Words. And again, just examples of how you don't have to be a homeschooler, like 100% documented on paper, submitted your your letter of intent or your declaration of intent to the state in order to make sure that your kids have the resources that they need in order to be successful. We are all homeschoolers. All good parents are homeschoolers. Just some of us are using different resources, and we're dedicating a different amount of hours depending on, the family and the child's needs to be, to be more precise. So definitely check those out, though. I know yesterday we were really talking about getting our kids to read, and we were also talking about using word searches as well to help with that, creating our own word searches or just finding ones that are already pre-printed online. And yeah, exactly. Play around with the site, see about adding it to the rotation if you like it. And hey, you could also just do what I do sometimes, and I just use the free versions until they tell me I can't use the free versions anymore. Then I go find a different resource. It just depends. It just depends. It's just a way to keep things interesting. And what I really liked about Spell Quiz, because I was using that for my older kids, is just they get the practice of dictation. Like that sometimes is a valuable skill when you're learning to type, because sometimes when you're taking a typing test, they are showing you what they want you to type, and then you just are retyping. You're just copying what you're seeing on the screen. But it's a whole different skill, and really focuses on listening, to have just the sentence or the word said to you, and you really just have to listen to what was said. So I really like that part of both of those. And same, I love using the free version too. Let's be honest, like we are all just trying to make do with the budgets that we have. And as much as I would probably love to subscribe to everything that I see, I have to narrow it down. like I said before, my mom taught me about budgeting, and there's nothing wrong with taking the free sample when you're at Sam's. You don't have to buy the whole snack. You don't have to buy the whole product. You can just say, thank you for that. That was really good. And now I'm going to move on to get, the actual things that I came here for. So yeah, spell quiz, spellquiz.com, homespellingwords.com, excuse me. Check out those sites, see what you think. And also, by the way, guys, as I said yesterday, share anything that you are using. I would love to know what you've come across that you find interesting, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to do the best for our kids, full stop. Like whatever that means, whatever type of education that entails. I will say one of the things that I don't love to see in just the homeschool, or even in the mom space online, is like this competition of, well, if you're not doing it like this, then somehow you are, below the standard, or you're not meeting this standard, this invisible line, whatever that comes up. And that's just not the case, guys. Like, I will tell you right now, the mom that I am today and the mom that I was 7-ish years ago, we are worlds apart. But it was just the way that it's what my family needed back then. I had to be different. I couldn't be this version. Now it might have been too harsh or not, it just wasn't what my family needed. So we're all evolving here. All right, so let me answer this question. What's the typing site you taught your son to type on? So I will show you. We have been using education.com. I use that because I've already paid for it, but I also use typing.com. So I will show both of those. And that way you get the visual for both and you can decide which you like better. And we can just even do a little demonstration on both if you like, because we can do that now. Okay, so let me get logged in on both of these sites. One moment. Oh, Lord, I can't remember my daughter's login. It's something like, oh, gosh. Oh, there it is. Woo, thank goodness. Don't you love it when when your stuff gets saved? Because, you can't remember. I can't remember all these sites. Okay, so let's start with this one here. And y'all bear with me. This is a lot of buttons to push. I'm learning how to do it. Okay, this should have popped it up for you guys. Just let me know if you can see. Hopefully you can. Okay, so this is education.com. This is under the games, different lessons that you can choose. Recently working on his top row keys. And so this is just one of the games. I'm going to go to one that he's already done so I don't mess up his progress. And so in this game, I'm hearing. You shouldn't be able to hear what I'm hearing, but it gives lots of sounds. And then I'll do something incorrect. So when it's incorrect, it'll highlight the wrong word, or excuse me, the one that you did wrong, the letter that you did wrong. Let's do another one. All right. Now I'm gonna have to go back in and fix his progress since I missed that. All right, so you get the idea there, and then it tells you the accuracy. So then that's that one. I'm gonna actually end that. And then now I'll show you typing.com, which I use for my older kids. Okay, so this is typing.com. No, I don't want the ad. Okay, I was trying to close the ad, but all right, there we go. So this one is, I would say, better for older kids because it's not so cutesy, but it definitely gives them that practice, allows them to, focus on their words per minute. You can see here it gives the statement that they're supposed to practice. it's also coaching in the earpiece. So I'm not sure if you guys are hearing that or not, but it's coaching like how to get started, saying like, okay, this is what you need to do in order to work on this. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Oh, yeah, I messed up. There you go. And that's more like I said for my older kids. Oh yes. Thank you for mentioning that. I will go to Typastic. We haven't been using that one, but I am aware of it. So yes, this is Typtastic. And, oh, sorry. I have to make sure I'm watching both things. All right, so this is Typtastic. Thank you for putting that in the comments. And this one is also a free version. So there we go. We've got 3 different methods that you could use if you wanted to. And then also just giving your kid different typing assignments. Like you can have them type their wish list for their birthdays. You can have them type emails to family members. That's something that I've recently started with my oldest. It's just encouraging her to type letters to her grandparents or whoever she wants to type emails to get that practice as well. So just giving them real world tasks so they understand, like, why does typing matter? Being able to type in a group chat or something. I don't know about that. That's maybe a little bit too much for young kids, but those are some ideas. So thank you so much, Jacqueline, for that question. And then also thank you, Ty, for putting up the Typtastic reference as well. So the question is, are you working on greetings and salutations too? Absolutely. We are Southern and we are still teaching manners over here. Matter of fact, that's one of my sayings that my kids can tell you. I say all the time, manners matter. And so, yeah, we're definitely not teaching them, especially when it's not an established relationship, still give the formal greeting of the day, you know, dear whomever, or good afternoon, hope this email finds you well. Like, yes, 100%. And then sincerely, yours truly, best regards, any type of salutation that, you know, that best fits, you know, thank you for your assistance in this matter. Absolutely. Yes. We are very much still teaching that manners matter. Absolutely. Yes, exactly. Yes. Formal and informal, just because, again, if it's an established relationship, you don't have to go Hamilton and like, I have the honor to be your obedient servant. You know, like, that doesn't have to happen in a more informal, established relationship. So, and by the way, if you like Hamilton and you caught that reference, besties, let's be friends, because I'm just saying, great musical. I love introducing my kids to musicals as well, like My Fair Lady, top tier. So 100%. And my thing is, those skills, being a charming person or being just a pleasant person to be around, I mean, that really pays dividends. And I think somewhere along the lines that's gotten lost. Like, just be nice. And you don't know what can come from that. So just be a nice person, and before you know it, you know, I think there's a marked difference between being kind and expecting nothing versus being kind with the expectation that someone should, you know, like it's a merry-go-round of you owe me one, you owe me one, you owe me one. So I'm teaching my kids to be genuinely kind, expecting nothing, give the greeting of the day, say a kind word to someone. You never know. It might be the first kind word or the only kind word they got that day. 100%. Aha, this question. Have they watched Grease though? Not yet. And I think because we're just getting to high school, that's why. Like, we haven't really gotten into some of the classic high school movies and rom-coms and musicals yet, like literally High School Musical. They haven't seen it because we're just getting in there, but we'll see. We'll see though. I think sometimes they're going to watch this and be like, But why were they fighting though? Like, I have taught my kids so much about just like walk away from negative people. They would just literally question, like, this movie could have been so much shorter if someone just walked away. So I might be ruining them in that regard. They have such a low tolerance for people's negativity. They just will walk away from it. They're not going to stand there and be made to feel uncomfortable. Like, they're like, I'm just going to leave. Another thing that my kids, I think it's something that I think continues to blow their mind is just some of the things that you have to put up with and endure just in a public school setting. Not even just the negative stuff, just the way that public schools operate. We were talking about that yesterday. They were horrified when I told them about, having to watch your water intake so you don't have to use the bathroom as much during the day at school. They were like, how are you supposed to do well at school if you're dehydrated and hungry and tired? And I was like, you make valid points. I don't know. So anyway, all that to say, we've had some fun conversations, and I don't know if they're going to tolerate the drama of Grease or High School Musical or some of these high school shows as much, because they're just going to be like, this kid should have just walked away. Just go home. So like West Side Story, I don't know how we're going to be able to. I think I'm just going to introduce, like, this is the classic. These were the times, guys. Just work with it. But they're probably just going to be like, they should have just walked away. So we'll see. All right. So another thing that I wanted to point out, and I sat it here so I wouldn't forget, because I was so upset with myself yesterday for forgetting the laundry thing. Ty was telling me about this popsicle activity that she's planning to do, using popsicle sticks and writing on there the different activities that she wants to do with her kid, because I have been having this issue, and I don't know, maybe you guys can give me some other ideas of how I can work this out. My son has decided school is the enemy for whatever reason. There was a whole kerfuffle about it yesterday. And I'm like, I got to figure out a way to get this kid to understand learning is not the enemy here. And so Ty was saying, take these popsicle sticks, write down different ideas of things we could do. So like, for example, we could play hangman as a way to like practice spelling or something along those lines, or create a word search and then put them in like a jar or a container of some kind. So like, of course, we're going to go with the alma mater here, put them in there, and then just be able to like randomly pull one out. So I will be working on this today. I don't think I'm going to make a video about it, but you guys are seeing it, so you'll know. That's one thing that I'm planning to do, but I would love and need ideas on how to, I don't know, shake it up. Because I used to say, what would you like to learn today? And that was working for a while. That worked for a really long time, because it gives the illusion of choice in that we're saying, hey, let's go with the flow today. Sorry, let me silence this. Because, it was like, hey, we're open to anything. What do you want to learn today? But I guess now he's getting older and he's like, I don't want to learn anything. I just want to play Minecraft. So I'm like, no, I don't need to fight. We don't need to argue every day. Like, I don't know. And it could have just been because it was a Monday. Could have just been because he got up a little earlier. I don't know. But I'm going to try the popsicle sticks thing. And right. Oh, that's such a good point. So yeah, you're saying you like to minimize your battles, but something about the stick telling them versus the parent, that is such a good point. Because yeah, when my kids learn it from somewhere else, they are getting to that point. And I guess I'm having to recognize that and take more of a back seat, because when my kids learn something from the internet, from a show, from whatever, Alexa even, they love to come back and say, oh, did you know this? And I have caught sometimes where they get a little disappointed if I say I already knew that. That is such a good point. So I think I might have to start saying like, just turn up the Southern bell a little bit, like, oh, really? That's interesting. put on my acting hat a little and like, no, I didn't know that. So yeah, good point. That is such a good point. That is going to stick with me. No pun intended, since we're talking about sticks, popsicle sticks. But yes, that is such a good point. So I think what I'm going to do though to help me fill out these sticks, because there's 100 of them, is I was debating whether or not I should include some of them with like, like the second grade learning tab. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm pulling up georgiastandards.org. And if you haven't been to this site or seen a similar site, I'll just show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is georgiastandards.org, and here they have the standards for each grade for each subject. I'm actually going to go to the Inspire version of this site. Actually, so let me correct what I just did. Hold on. I want to correct that because they came up with this newer site, I suppose you could say, that shows the information a little bit more cleanly. Okay, so this is inspire.gadoe.org. And what I like about how they've organized this information is it really makes it a lot simpler than the regular georgiastandards.org site to find what you're looking for. So in this situation, I would just want to find, like, this is what we have to do for second grade. Oh, but apparently it's going to be retired next year. I guess they're going to come out with something else. Okay. So I'm thinking of maybe using some of these standards and prompts as ways to fill out things for the popsicle stick. So for example, for this first one, I would say, okay, let's read a story. Yeah, I guess I would just read a story that summarizes all this, and then, or practice who, what, where, when, why. Reading a story. That might be too much to write on a stick, though. I don't know. I would have to figure out some way to shorten this down a little bit, but you get the idea. Like using some of these prompts, some of these standards to help me create prompts to work on here. So like, I think I'm gonna have to make a spreadsheet where I would maybe have a code on the stick. I'm doing too much. I can already tell. I'm doing too much. This is supposed to be simple. Wait a second. Because I'm like, I want to be able to know what the standard is. I guess I could write the standard on the stick and he wouldn't know what it means. I could write it on the back. So like on this standard down here, I could say, okay, let's practice rhyming. We could absolutely listen to a song. Oh, 100%. And then I would write the code on the back so I know what standard we're meeting. Boom. Okay, I got it. I just had to work it out. No spreadsheet required. I got it. Because I don't know. For me, I'm still a public school kid, y'all. I'm still attached to the idea of I need to make sure what we're doing is in alignment. Like we can listen to a song, but I need to know what standard, like, that it aligns with. I'm just programmed that way. Blame public school, blame the military, blame my mother. Like the whole, like, why are we doing this? The what's the point thing, that's still in me. So, but I do like how I'm reading through these. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's 100% what I'm going to do. Okay. Yep. And I will do it for math and language arts. Oh, hello. We finally got this posted. Okay. Oh. Okay. I'm going to have to read through this later. They've added some stuff, y'all. Okay. Yep. You said nothing you think of as ever simple. Same. We're on the same boat about that. And you said you would include just language arts or maybe the subsets. Mm, I'm going to work this out because what does this mean? What does attend to precision mean? What does that mean? What do they mean? What are they saying? I don't know what that means. Does that mean just be precise about something? That's why I have to study this stuff. They keep changing because I don't remember that. Okay, maybe it's me. Maybe it's early and I've gone off coffee and back to tea. But what does that mean? I'm just assuming that means be precise. What does attend to precision mean? I'm not going to focus on it. I'm just going to go back to where I was. Because, yeah, this is literally what I'll be doing later today is trying to figure out what they've added, what they've changed. And maybe I need to stop going over here and stay on the other side. Because, okay, that makes more sense to me. Yeah, that's easy. We can do that. We were just recently working on force as well. So, yeah, I can do that. Okay, sorry. I'm I'm back. I'm still with you guys. But you see like there's a lot that is just out there floating to give you ideas because immediately when I'm here and I'm like, I didn't understand that last one that we were on with the math. Let me jump back to it. I completely forgot about the little hack that I had shared a while ago on TikTok about using these codes and putting it over to Teachers Pay Teachers to see what that means or to have an example of what that means, so I'm sitting up here trying to figure it out myself. Let me just go and see what the teachers are saying. Like, what does that mean? What is this code? Or let me see something that has an example of this code. Oh, no. Hold on. Let's adjust. A free sample of what this code means, if you don't mind. Okay, so maybe it just means being precise. Okay, maybe that's what they're meaning when they say that, because I'm like, what? Okay, see, okay, I got it. Adding and subtraction, heard, which of course they have a bunch of other codes down here too. But, oh, by the way, if you haven't seen that hack before, and if I did it a little too fast, or if you're not familiar with it, let me just start back. This is Teachers Pay Teachers, which is a website that should absolutely be in your homeschool arsenal if it is not already. And you can sign up and join. In fact, I think you have to sign up with an email in order to print things. I didn't log in this time just because I wanted to just get a quick little glance of what that form was. And I should have told my cousin about this site too, because 100% I'm sure they have spelling for second grade on here. So let me just run through just in case this is the first time you're seeing it. So Teachers Pay Teachers is literally a site that other teachers, like public school teachers, private school teachers use. You can, even if you are looking for a method or a way to make money as a homeschooler, if you create documents, if you create educational resources, you can post them onto this site, and as people use them, buy them, you're just making money without having to do anything other than get it set up, and then they download it on their own. And Teachers Pay Teachers sends you a cut of whatever you've earned for that month. They send it to you every month. I have this going on as well. It's set up to you go to your PayPal, but I'm sure you can set it up any way you want to with your finances. So that's another little quick side hustle tip. If you're looking for a way to make money and you've got a creative side to you, post your information on Teachers Pay Teachers, post your products, and just sit back and collect money. You can absolutely promote it on your own social media as well, but this is just a way to do that. So, and one of the cool things is, and why you always see so many freebies on Teachers Pay Teachers, is because the first product you post on Teachers Pay Teachers is required to be free. So that's why you see so many freebies. And then also sometimes people just like to post their free stuff on here just so that it makes it a little bit easier. So I have to remind myself to tell my cousin about this later if she's not already watching or already here. But anyway, so once you have your Teachers Pay Teachers account and you go to the Department of Education's website for your state, you can take those codes that you see there. Usually they're off to the side and you might even ignore them or gloss over them, but you can take those codes and copy and paste those codes over to Teachers Pay Teachers. And typically you will find resources that are aligned with that particular code, that particular standard. And it just helps you to understand, what are you talking about? Give me an example. Show me in, plain English, like what are we talking about here? And that is something that you can do just to, help find resources, help to keep your budget down or, stay in budget and utilize those resources. And then another thing, let me go back to the Inspire website. Just because it's from Georgia doesn't mean you can't use it. I really want to emphasize that. And within this website, they do have lesson plans already created. Sometimes they come with printables for you. Let's see. I just clicked on a random one, so I'm not sure if this one. Oh, there it is. Student reproducibles, because they can't just call them printables or worksheets. And so you click on that, and this is what that tab came up with. So again, this is all free. This is just put out there by the Department of Education. Yes, it says Georgia on there, but this is a lesson anybody can use from any state, anywhere. So it really doesn't matter. You don't have to be attached to, like, where does this resource come from? Oh, if it's Georgia, I can't use it in South Carolina. Or if it's Georgia, I can't use it in Wyoming. Okay, well, yes, you can. So just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out as well. All right, so does anyone have any questions right now or anything? If you're in the chat, let me know what you're thinking. I also love a free Teachers Pay Teachers lesson. And so that's why I'm always trying to make sure I'm sharing when I find a free resource, when I find a nearly free resource or something that just makes this homeschool thing a little bit simpler, because it is overwhelming when you get started, when you're feeling like I have to create a school essentially from scratch. I don't know what I'm doing, a lot of us, when we get started, because we're the first person that we know that's doing it. And like, maybe you're in a position where you're being supported and that's cool, but some of us aren't. So we are literally, kind of backed against the wall. We don't have people supporting us. If anything, we have people kind of doubting us and saying, I don't know, you sure you don't want to just put them in school? And so it's like, it's a little daunting. And wouldn't it be nice to have a place where you can go to ask your question, to get some advice from someone who's maybe a couple years ahead and has already seen there, been there, done that, asked that question, made that mistake, bought that t-shirt, and then it's like, oh, cool, I get to skip a few steps because I don't have to struggle through trying to figure out, like, how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to make this work? So that's what this platform is meant to be. I want it to also be one where, again, you can grab your cup of coffee in the morning, come in, check in, say, hey, get that boost of encouragement. It's like, hey, you're not alone. My kids were, one of them yesterday was literally fighting the idea of any sort of like formal education. And eventually we got it together, but man, that morning was rough. And it happens. It's like that. And I'm obviously never going to record it and put it online because I don't like seeing my kids cry in real life. I'm not going to post them crying so I can see it over and over. That's one of the main reasons why you never see, in my opinion, why you never see homeschoolers' bad days, because who wants to see them crying, themselves or their kids just crying on repeat? So you're not going to see that, at least from my page. You're not going to see that. And I think even if I tried to post it, my mom would be like, take it down immediately. I still remember the time I posted something that it was on TikTok and the sound had a curse word in it. And she was like, I didn't raise you like that. She was upset about it. So anyway, that's that. I will for Also, I meant to do this earlier. See, that's how y'all know I'm still learning this. And thank you for hanging tough with me and bearing with me. I'm going to put this link to be a guest on here in the chat. If you want to pop in, if you want to share, if you have something that you want to say, I do have to put a disclaimer out there. Okay, joining as a guest, you are consenting to be recorded because this is recorded and it is then saved to my YouTube page. And then I do occasionally take clips like I did yesterday. I take clips from the show and I'll post it on my other platforms. So before you join, just making sure that you know that that's what's up. And if you're okay with that, then by all means pop in. If you're not okay with that, that's fine too. You do not have to. I do believe that the link, the StreamYard platform does ask you to have a camera and a mic, but you can also have your avatar. So if we're not all decent in the morning, I get it. You can absolutely join in though, if you want to. No pressure. And I will just leave that banner going a little bit longer just so we're clear, because I don't need anybody trying to come at me later talking about, I didn't give you permission. I don't want to be on the page. Okay. Listen, this is a no negativity zone. That's all I'm going to say. No negativity allowed. All right. So in the meantime, let me just close out of some of these tabs because I'm that type of person. It's like I can't have a bunch of tabs open. My brain just don't like it. So, okay, there we go. Y'all, the way that I'm just learning how this stuff works in real time. So you guys are getting to see me on the cusp of something new, learning how things are, learning what does that button do? And 10 or 12 episodes from now, I should have it down a little bit better. But I also want to say to y'all that are here that got me going in the background while y'all are doing laundry and getting your morning started. Thank you for being here, because let's be honest, sometimes it's not easy to share what you're doing. It's certainly not always easy to make your shortcomings public. Sometimes you just I don't even want to say the word shortcoming, but just like when you're doing something new and you're not that good at it, sometimes we just want to retreat and not be out there. We don't want to put it out there till we're doing it perfectly. So, oh my gosh, y'all, what a treat. First of all, my mama can use technology. I'm so proud of you. I thought
hello.
See you later.
How's everybody?
I don't like the side by side because I look too much like you. I don't like it.
Okay, you can move me.
Just joking. I'm joking. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you guys?
Oh my gosh. You just made my day.
Okay, now how can I see the chat?
Oh, I don't think you're going to be able to see the chat unless I pop it up.
Okay.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you are so welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Trinae says we're the cutest, or maybe you're the cutest. I don't know. And then Jacqueline saying hi.
What's up? Where's Miss Todd? She just had to make sure that she was first.
You are not about to. I'm not allowed.
No,
I'm not allow you to attack my friend.
I'm just kidding.
Ty says, "Hey, mom."
Hey, everybody.
Okay, so I want to ask you, since you're here, can I interview you a little bit?
Me?
Yes. And the fact that you're wearing black and I'm not, what's going on? Okay. So as I said earlier, I said all good parents are homeschoolers. What did you think about that? And do you agree?
Yes, I agree with that, because, when you have people at your home, you're always teaching each other something.
Mm-hmm.
whether it's life experience, sports, movies, you
Sports.
know.
Yeah, she threw that in there because I've been trying to bond with her by speaking sports, which we are not going to do today.
She's been doing very well. But no, seriously, when you reference that, I said, oh, she took it as that, because like I said, back in the day compared to nowadays, you could not pay me any amount of money to be an educator, to be a guardian. It's too much technology out there. But you guys are doing
I'm
great.
I'm glad you bring that up though, because you were not a huge supporter at first. You were definitely team side eye when I first brought up the idea of wanting to homeschool. What,
that that
10 years ago? You were definitely team side eye.
that was true. That was true. That was true.
And I want to say
But
it.
but
Oh, go ahead.
but it took me to substitute.
You're still traumatized by that experience, aren't you? Okay, so a little bit of backstory for those who don't or haven't heard this story before. So I was in the National Guard when my children were younger. And if you know anything about the National Guard, we have to go away for 2 weeks out of the year for training. And this was during the time that I was still homeschooling. So during that time, I asked my mother to watch my 2 older kids because my son was not born yet. And I gave her a full plan. Like, everything was itemized to include breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, like the whole plan. All she had to do was execute. She didn't have to do any planning. She didn't have to come up with anything, everything. If there was a worksheet, it was printed. If there was a show, I had it. And the start time, like, watch this show at this time. Cause so it was very detailed. I think I even had their clothes bagged for the outfits, like this outfit with this underwear and this sock. Like, it was bagged so that she didn't have to do anything except follow, like read.
Let's not forget about the meals, girl.
I had the meals planned. Yes, it was so when I tell you I felt that I left her in very good hands.
She did.
And when I tell you, go ahead.
That structure and organization, I'm like, okay, she gonna be all right.
But when I tell you, when I got back, she was like, the level of respect she had. She suddenly didn't have a problem with homeschooling. I don't know what happened during that week because I felt like they had a good week. But she was suddenly so respectful. And then she would say things like, you need to make sure you have time to yourself. You need to make sure you are taking time for yourself. She has been so militant about my self-care since that point. So please tell me what happened during that week. Because I don't think I've ever asked you what it was that made the switch flip. I was just glad it flipped. But now that I got you here on a recording, what happened that week?
Well, I guess the analysis would be, you never know how much money you're spending unless you write down what you spend it on. And to actually see your day from beginning to end, I'm like, that's a lot for one person in the military. Because the military back in our day is nothing like it is today. However, I just felt that was a lot for one person. But hey, kudos to you. You're handling it. You're still handling it. Keep it moving.
All right. You didn't tell me what happened to you that week, but I appreciate it. You summarized it.
Okay, first of all, my mind is not like it used to be.
Okay, that's fine.
However, what stood out was that was a lot from beginning to end.
Okay.
Although I appreciate it because me, I can follow a routine. I can follow structure, organization. Those are my middle names when I'm not referencing sports or holiday decor.
You keep slipping it in. I'm not falling for it. If you want to start a sports podcast with me, that can be another channel. I'm not falling for it. Next.
But no, I enjoy sitting in on the lives, listening to the different educators. You know, I know you guys call yourselves homeschoolers, but I have promoted all of you. You're educators, and so but I enjoy seeing the feedback. I have learned when something is not positive. I would handle it totally different, but hey, you guys keep it moving.
All right.
Next question.
Y'all don't understand how much she's loving this, so please do ask a question, because this is going to be the highlight of her week. She's going to try to jump in probably every other live.
No. I just, hey, you had asked, you didn't see my comment, but what I think would help is when you talk about a website, put it in the comment. That way people coming in, they can see what you're talking about. Like those 2 typing websites that you mentioned earlier before Ty mentioned.
Oh, you're right. I didn't I put the spelling ones in, but yes, you're right. I need to do it every time.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all keep it moving. Like I said, y'all gonna y'all got it figured out.
I thought normally we would save the critiques for after the live.
That's okay. That's okay, girl. They
Y'all, in case you don't, I do call my mom, or I call multiple people, but I call my mom after I do something, and I'm like, okay, so what'd you think? And she doesn't hold back. She's still that mom that's like, all right, so love the way you had your hair, but
well, you know what? I'm gonna say this because I can't remember who made the statement yesterday, but I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said. Any good parent, I don't care how many children they have. I was blessed with one. That's all that I could handle. You know the story. But any good parent that cherishes the relationship with their children is going to be involved, whether it's on the sideline being a cheerleader. They're going to be involved until the end of time.
Yeah. And you're the reason why I can never and will never like bag on parents who choose to send their kids to public school, because you did that, but you were always present. Like, people knew you before they knew me, I feel like, in school. And there was never a time where you never thought C's were acceptable. So you were like, we're going to get some extra practice. You're going to do this, until you get it. And that is homeschooling to an extent. If you want to, it falls under homeschooling umbrella because it happened at home. It was extra that I was having to do outside the public school. But at the same time, it's like, you are a part-time homeschooler or whatever. Just because you don't homeschool full-time doesn't mean you don't homeschool. And I just want this animosity to end. That way we can all just focus on resources, how we can stay organized, how we can stay on top of our chores, because that's what the struggle is. The struggle shouldn't be between like, I homeschool and you don't, or I send my kids to this school and this school district is fabulous and you're just a homeschooler, whatever. Like, after we've established that everybody homeschools, can we just talk about how I can make sure my kid doesn't fight me every morning for schoolwork or whatever, how I can make sure that I don't have to end up doing 3 loads of laundry in one day because I let it all slide for the weekend or whatever. Just staying on top of it, which at some point I would like to bring you back, because we're about to wrap it up today, to talk about budgeting. That's my favorite topic. The way that I will thrift and save and coupon and download your app just so I get the free whatever, or the 15% off of that. So you down for being my budget buddy?
I'm gonna have to think about that. You know how it is when it comes to money. People gonna do what they want to do.
But we're only talking about how to save money. If someone chooses not to do what we're saying, I have a block button. Like, I don't think anybody's going to get rude, is all I'm saying. But
okay. I'll think about it. So we're not going to go over. I see the time. So
yeah, I'm going to drop you down.
It was great seeing everybody. You guys have a great day. The holidays are coming up. Give yourself a pat on the back for what you do accomplish every day. Out.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom. She's so sweet. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up, finish it up here. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, I would love for you to like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel. I want to be consistent and keep doing these. I really enjoy them, and I hope that it is enjoyable for you. And leave me some feedback to let me know what you thought, what you think I can improve. I can take it, as long as you're respectful, of course. And I will just catch you guys later. Catch you next time. Actually, tomorrow. Catch you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.